One of the most common questions that I get here on this channel is, are we going to see Social Security benefits increase? Well, I want to talk about that because there is an additional push to see the $2,400 per year Social Security increase happen in the near future. And this is coming from the Social Security Expansion Act of 2023. And I want to give you a quick little update as to what we are seeing in that regard. First off, you need to understand that the Social Security Expansion Act of 2023 is being pushed by none other than Senator Bernie Sanders. We all know who Senator Bernie Sanders is, and we know what he's about. Senator Bernie Sanders is about the people. He's against big businesses, and he does not like wealthy individuals. As a result, he is targeting big businesses and the wealthy as a way to pay for these additional benefits to Social Security recipients. And again, that is $2,400 per year as an increase. Now, it doesn't actually stop there, and I will address what is being discussed as far as the Social Security Expansion Act of 2023, because that proposal hasn't even come out yet. We are just now getting reports that Senator Bernie Sanders will be releasing this in the near future. But one thing I can tell you, Senator Bernie Sanders is not just attacking the rich and attacking the bigger businesses. He wants to provide benefits to everybody. He wants to expand benefits to all people. And the way he wants to do that, the first order of business, is he wants to reduce the burdens to the American people by reducing healthcare costs. And his plan is to call executives in to testify on prices. But also keep in mind that Democrats last year in 2022, they were able to pass legislation through the Inflation Reduction Act. And this legislation would give Medicare the power to negotiate the prices of some of these drugs. And again, by bringing the prices down, it gives the average American more money to keep in their bank instead of spending it on other things. So that's good news. Now, I bring all this up because many Democrats are still trying to get more benefits to the American people, specifically the elderly. This is good because over the past 3 years, what we have seen is that the elderly have been impacted the most negatively. Okay? They haven't received the big bonuses. They haven't received the big checks. They didn't get a lot of or any unemployment benefits or the enhanced unemployment benefits of $600 per week. They didn't get money from PPP loans. There was a lot of things that the elderly just didn't get. And so now the reports are starting to come out that the elderly are the ones that were impacted the most. And again, it was negatively. So here's what I can tell you. This is where the next plan is coming into play. According to reports, Senator Bernie Sanders, he is soon going to introduce the Social Security Expansion Act of 2023. And it is going to be very familiar with or very similar to the Social Security Expansion Act of 2022. Now, I do want to read a statement that Senator Bernie Sanders made last year. And this is on his website. Okay, let me pull this up really quick. So here it is. This is what he said last year. He says, at a time when half of older Americans have no retirement savings and millions of senior citizens are living in poverty, our job is not to cut Social Security. Our job must be to expand Social Security so that every senior citizen in America can retire with the dignity they deserve, and every person with a disability can live with the security they need. And we will do that by demanding that the wealthiest people in America finally pay their fair share of taxes. It is absurd that a billionaire in America today pays the same amount of Social Security taxes as somebody making $147,000 a year. It is time to scrap the cap, expand benefits, and fully fund Social Security. I'm very proud that the Social Security Administration has estimated that our legislation to expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year will fully fund Social Security for the next 75 years by applying the payroll tax on all income, including capital gains above $250,000 per year. Now, I do just want to say one thing, and that is that this $147,000 per year figure here, it actually increased. It is now $160,200. Okay, that's what it is now. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's just talk about what is currently what is expected. Senator Bernie Sanders is calling for, or what he's calling for has a lot of support right now. But one thing you need to keep in mind is that there's two options here. Okay, Senator Bernie Sanders would be happy with one of two options. One is that we completely remove the Social Security cap, which is exactly what he's talking about here. Where is it? He's talking about that here to right here. Where is it at? Job must be demanding that the wealthy people pay their fair share, same amount, and it's time to scrap the cap right there. Okay, scrap the cap is what he wants to do. Just get rid of it. Okay, so that means it doesn't matter if you make $100,000, you make $150,000, you make $1 million, you make $1 billion. You would be taxed 6.2% of that money. That's what you'd be taxed. Okay? And I'll give you an example in just a second. So that's one option. The other option, and this is another option which does have support from many lawmakers as well, has more support here than to scrap the cap. But what we know is if we can tax 6.2%, okay, and again, just understand Social Security tax is actually 12.4%, but 6.2% comes from the employee, 6.2% comes from the employer. So if you're self-employed, you pay the full 12.4%. So what nobody's been discussing is raising that tax to go from 12.4 to maybe 12.8 or 13%, right? Just raise it 0.6%. Nobody's talking about raising the taxing the American people more money, but they're talking about actually raising the Social Security tax cap. Okay, so currently it's $160,200. What they are looking at is, can we go $160,200, and then there'll be a gap between that and $400,000, because again, President Biden has said nobody making less than $400,000 per year will see a penny more in taxes. So it's going to be 6.2% up to $160,200. It will be 0% all the way up to $400,000, and then $400,000 and above, again, possibly no limit, it will be 6.2%. But according to reports out this over the past couple of days, they are looking at a limit. That limit would likely be $1 million. Okay? So, if there was no limit, and again, Senator Bernie Sanders, he wants to make sure the wealthiest Americans in the United States are paying their fair share. Just to give you an idea of what this could look like, the kind of money this could actually bring in. Let's say somebody's making $25 million, right? Like Goldman Sachs CEO. Well, if they're making $25 million and there's no cap, okay, then they would pay $1.5 million in Social Security taxes, as opposed to just $9,900. See the difference there? It's a huge, huge difference. That is what Senator Bernie Sanders wants to see. And he says this will keep Social Security solvent for 75 years. He says this will keep Social Security solvent for the next 75 years past the year 2096. Okay, interesting. Now, the question that I know I'm going to get from a lot of people, so I'm just going to answer this right now, is how likely is this to go through? Okay. Well, there's two different answers here. One is it's very likely to happen, and the second answer is it will not happen. Okay? First thing, what is not going to happen? Well, based off of all the consensus from Congress, and because we have a divided Congress, right? A Republican House, a Democratic Senate. what many experts believe is that an increase of $2,400 is not going to happen. Will this go through? No. This is not going to happen because bringing more money in and then just giving it out does nothing for Social Security. We need to bring more money in, hold on to it for a little bit, and then we will start dishing it out. That is what they're saying. But again, just because this is called the Social Security Expansion Act of 2023, I want to be 100% clear, this would not actually go into effect until likely 2024. Okay? Just keep that in mind. It would not change anything in this calendar year. The second thing, do you think that raising the Social Security tax cap is going to happen? According to experts, the answer is yes. They all believe that raising the Social Security tax cap will happen because this is part of the negotiations that are currently happening now. But if Republicans vote to raise the Social Security tax cap, again, it's not going to be $1 million. It would be a little bit, okay? And it's going to be minimal. But if they raise it, guess what? In return, they want to see spending cuts elsewhere. That is what they want to see. And are Democrats going to participate in spending cuts and vote for it in exchange to see the Social Security tax cap go up? Well, according to experts, they say yes, this could happen. But again, I honestly, I don't know. So we will see moving forward. But that is what we know right now regarding Social Security, the potential of a $2,400 per year increase, and whether we see the Social Security tax increase as well. So as soon as we get more information as to what is going on there, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing. Also, share this video with your friends and family over on Facebook, and I'll see you guys on the next one.